you can go ahead.
We will start now.
Yeah.
So, welcome everyone for the English with the Social Consciousness lesson 2. Today we are going to see the active and the passive voices, especially taking the side of the oppressed. So, this English course is designed not only to learn English but also to have some consciousness towards our society, maybe the oppressed, the poor, and the needy. So we welcome you all again for the second lesson. And today we welcome Father Anton to teach us the active and the passive voices. He is at present a chaplain at the boys' home in, I think, Ragama, and he is a Catholic priest. So we welcome Father Anton to teach us these active and passive voices. Welcome, Father.
Okay. Thank you, Father Leo, joining this program and to give this introduction. I think welcome all of you to this lesson 2, English with a social consciousness. I think there are many of us, the participants of this class, are joining the program from different places, far away from the north side, from the east, and then from other parts of our country. And today, of course, I will be doing the class, and I would like to let you know that the next 7-8 classes will be done by teachers who will be joining from from Ireland, but they come from different countries, so they will have different experiences to share with us. Anyway, once again, thank you to Father Leo for introducing me to you, and then I give another welcome to all of you. Little by little, we are moving forward into our English lessons. Today, we will be speaking about active and passive voice. I would like to tell you that this work is a teamwork. This English course or the English lessons are done not by individuals, but this is a result. This is a product of a teamwork. That is, 10 teachers and many others have teamed up together, have come together to teach English as well as raise or grow or cultivate social consciousness. And today I will be speaking as one of the major points about what is social consciousness. I think we need a little bit of an orientation, to understand what is social consciousness, because it's a little different thing. It's different from learning merely grammar parts of the language. So I'll be talking about it as one of the major points. And then I will move to the topic that is taking the side of the oppressed. And to many of you, this topic may sound strange, different. So we will be kind of asking, what is the meaning of taking the side of the oppressed? What do you mean by the oppressed? So we'll be a little deeply going into that topic. And then we have the grammar part, that is active and passive voices. I think most of us have heard about this, and some of you probably know it well. And anyway, we will try to kind of tackle this active and passive voices and then try to get the hang of it, try to understand it. and digest it a little bit more. And then at the end of the session, as usual, a time will be given for you for questions, clarifications. පැහැදිලි කරගන්න ඕන නම් clarifications. And then if you want to make some suggestions to improve this lesson, this course, suggestion means yojana. If you want to make some suggestions, you can do so. Now I want you to look at this picture. Take a good look at this picture. I hope you can see this picture on your phone or on your electronic device, whatever the device that you use. It's a beautiful picture, isn't it? Look at the children, the smiles on their face, okay? Now you find there on the left side, I have written a sentence. I tried to kind of, capture the meaning of this, not the meaning, the kind of, I wanted to tell the story behind this picture. So I have put some words together to make this sentence. The poor are deprived of their right to life, education, food, and basic needs. What do you mean by it? The poor, that is, the poor people are deprived. Deprived means they are not given, or their things have been taken away, deprived of their right to life, education. So the poor people don't get enough life or enough education because they are not given that opportunity. That opportunity has been taken away from them, So that's all. Anyway, we'll come back to the picture now. So what do we see in the photo? We see some poor children seated on the floor. They don't have chairs, desks, books, or blackboards. But there is interest written on their face. Look at their faces. Even though the picture on your phone may be small, but look at them. There is a lot of interest on their face. Or we can say they are interested in something. And what words can we use? There is curiosity, right? Inquisitiveness, kutuhale, curiosity. And they smile, nice smile on each one of them. See, different smiles. Some of them are smiling broadly, some are slightly. And look at their eyes, how attentive their eyes, how attentive. They are being taught by someone. It seems that there is a teacher or someone, but we can't see that person. He's teaching or she's teaching. They are poor. These children are poor, but they are lively and hopeful. There's a lot of hope in them. Lively means full of life, exuberant. That's a big word anyway. Full of life. So I feel like saying this, learning, studying, makes us joyful and hopeful, right? They are listening, they are attentive, they want to know something, so they are joyful and they are hopeful. So we have got few words here. We discussed it. Deprive of, that's a verb. The poor are deprived of, or you can say the poor have been deprived of. That means things of education, life, food, basic necessities have been taken away from them. So they don't have it. So deprived of, right? We have robbed. The society has robbed the life from the poor people. And we have the deprivation, the noun. It means the lack or denial. Lacking means aduweno, nathuweno. I can say, I lack patience. Mata iwasima naha. I lack. I lack some skills of English language. Mata tikak hingai. Ingrisi, bhashawe, tools, mevalam tika. I lack. Right? But here the other word is denial, means they are denied, they are not given. So the society has denied the needs of the poor. Denial. Denial is the noun of deny. Lively. We went through interest. I like to point out the meaning of this word interest. Actually, when I look at the dictionary, I was thrilled by the meaning that the dictionary gives to the word interest. It says the feeling of wanting to know or learn about something or someone. The feeling of wanting to know, you want to know something, you want to learn. That is the meaning of the word interest, right? We can see that in the faces, on the faces of the children. So they want to know something, they want to learn. I think that's the kind of, attitude we should have towards learning. Even we adults, young people like you, teenagers, probably you are. And the word enthusiasm, interest, enthusiasm. What does it mean? Intense and eager enjoyment or interest, once again. Today in this class, and also in this English course, we have two goals to achieve. We have two goals. The first one is to learn English, to learn the English language. And the second one is to raise or grow or cultivate social consciousness or awareness. First one is to learn the English language. And the second one is the social consciousness, how to cultivate social consciousness within us. We can ask, why do we have to learn a language? What is the meaning, or what is the profit? Right? What is the benefit? Right? What is the benefit we can receive from learning a language? To communicate. Sannivedane karanna. Again, huamaru karanna. To communicate our thoughts, our feelings, our ideas, our experiences, and our knowledge. So language, we can learn language and do so many things, but I think the most important thing is to communicate with other people. So we open up to other people and we share our life experience with others, and they share their own, and there is a wonderful mutual exchange, which is very beautiful. Through a language, we can enter into the lives of other people, and they can enter into our lives. And the second one is to understand. When somebody speaks, if I don't know that language, especially English, I cannot understand. So the language, if I learn the language, English language, I can understand what is spoken in English. I can read the books written in English and I can understand it. And it helps me to kind of grow my knowledge, my understanding, my wisdom, my insight. And then the third point, why do we learn a language? To become aware and conscious of the world we live, to become aware, to know what is happening around us, out in the world, out in the society, right? Out far away place. Sometimes we cannot go there, but then we can, through reading, through a language, we can learn what is happening around the world. And the fourth one is, language helps us to change our lives and change the society, the world, and reconstruct. Reconstruct means to godanagano. Never to godanagan. Change and reconstruct the world around us, the world around us. Now, the next point is, we have given the name for this English course as English with a social consciousness. So what is social consciousness? What do you mean by it? So there is a small definition. Definitions means artha katane, define. You define the meaning of something, right? Social consciousness is about being aware of problems that affect other people and then striving to do something about those problems. You can read it, as you, although the microphone is not switched on, you can kind of, read it on your own, try to read it. Social consciousness is about being aware of problems that affect other people and then striving to do something about those problems. So social consciousness means that we try to become aware, become attentive to the problems, issues happening in the society, in the world. And those problems, issues are affecting other people. I have written the meaning of this. It's something new to me, even to me. I had a different meaning of the word, affect. But when I looked at the dictionary online, it gives a wonderful meaning. Affect meaning upset, trouble, hit hard, overwhelm, devastate. So, we are coming to know, social consciousness means we want to know the problems, issues that hit hard. හයියෙන් ගහනවා මිනිසුන්ගේ ජීවිතේට වැරෙන් පහර දෙන ප්‍රශ්න hit hard or overwhelm මිනිසුන්ගේ ජීවිතේ අට කරගෙන යනවා. devastate කරලා කියන්නේ මහා විනාශයකට ලක් කරනවා. devastate. So social consciousness means, it's a beautiful thing that we become aware, we become conscious, we become sensitive, සංවේදී වෙනවා. සමාජයේ තියෙන ප්‍රශ්න, ලෝකයේ තියෙන ප්‍රශ්න, the problems in the world, which kind of, hit hard the lives of people. And we strive, but is strive, struggle or fight vigorously. And then we try hard. We don't want these problems, issues, trouble in people's lives. We want to do something to solve these problems. We want to solve these problems. That's what, we want to bring about a change. And then we ask the question, what are today's social problems? There are many, many, many social problems. You can also say now at this very moment, there are long queues on the road, so many vehicles, sometimes, 1 or 2 miles long, probably. They are waiting to get gas, diesel, petrol, right? All that stuff. So that's also a social problem. Or you can say it's an expression of a deeper social problem. The economy has gone bankrupt, has crumbled, fallen, and people are having a hard time. So what are the social problems? Poverty, that's a deep problem. Militarization, that is the forces, military forces going and encamping in a village or in an area or invading, right? And we saw that, during the 30 years of war in the north and east, the Sri Lankan forces, Army, Navy, and Air Force, right? That is military. They go to the north and the east and get vast areas of land. They put up their camps. So militarization, that kind of disturbs, affect, hit hard the lives of the people there. So the life becomes very not ordinary. It's completely different. And we have the problems, land grabbing. They grab You take by force. Grab means බලෙන් ගන්නවා. ඉඩම් බලෙන් ගැනීම. Land occupation. You have land occupation. අල්ල ගැනීම, land occupation. Displacement. You know, when there is a war, now we see when the war is going on between Russia and Ukraine, right? Millions of people, they say 1.5 million, that is 15 lakhs, 1,500,000, no, 15 lakhs of people are displaced. They have to leave their homes, their villages, their cities, their schools and everything displaced. Homelessness, they have lost their homes. And we see on the TV how they are crying, they are innocent people. And then we have other deeper, what do you call social problems? Inequality. Asamanatavi, මිනිස්සු අතර. The economic inequalities, social inequalities, right? උස්පහත්කම් inequality. Injustice, asadharani, disparity. So we have a whole lot of, I have named, you can go through it later on, exploitation, oppression of minority groups, LGBTQ. We'll be listening to some of our teachers who will be speaking on these topics. And, you know, it's a very big opportunity, dear friends, all of you. I mean, you get open to listen to those topics being spoken by those teachers who are involved in the struggle against oppression, right? So those who are in the struggle against this kind of oppression of minority groups. And you have this topic, you know, people with different sexual orientations. Some of them, the teachers will speak on that. They are in that struggle. Inflation, උද්ධමනය. දැන් අද රුපියල පාවෙනවා කියයි. පාවෙනවා නෙමෙයි, පාවෙනවා. වෙලා තියෙනවා. High cost of living, hunger, malnutrition. And then we have the state oppression, the state, Rajya. You know, the state goes on oppressing people. Intimidation, පලහත්කාරය, forced disappearance, බලෙන් අතුරුදහන් කිරීම. I hope you have listened to, and we'll be listening next week for all those things, right? So social consciousness is about helping to bring about social change also. If you do not see what needs to be socially changed, change will never happen. So why do we want to have social consciousness? Why do we want to cultivate that within us? Why do we want to become socially conscious? So that when we come to know all these problems happening around us, they're happening to people, and people are suffering, and we also belong to that people. And then once we come to know that there are problems affecting our lives, then we can change, we can come together and make a difference, we can make a change. And that is the ultimate thing. So language has power. භාෂාවට තියෙනවා ලොකු බලයක් වෙනසක් ගේන්න. Language has power to bring about change. So summarizing what I talked about social consciousness, language learning improves our communication skills, understanding, awareness, social consciousness, and then language creates in us a need to bring about a social change, a better world. And I would like to go to the topic of the day. This is the topic I have chosen, and actually we chose together as a team, group of teachers. It is a kind of different. I hope you will find it, although it's little heavy, barai, but then these are new things, I suppose for some of you. So let's bear with one another and try to get into these topics. Taking the side of the oppressed. What is that? Taking the side of the oppressed mean පීඩිතයා එහෙම නැත්නම් පීඩිතයන්. oppress, that word comes from, you press down, right? Or you put pressure on some people, put pressure, පීඩාව බර තද පොඩි the oppressed. When we pronounce a word like oppressed, it starts with O. It's a vowel. So the definite article before that, we pronounce it as the oppressed, not the oppressed, the oppressed, because that word, oppressed word, starts with a vowel. Taking the side of, this is a phrase, English phrase, taking the side, පැත්ත ගන්නවයි කියලා කියන්නේ. පීඩිතයාගේ පැත්ත ගන්නවා, taking the side of. Elil, would you like to say that in Tamil, please? Taking the side of the oppressed. I think Elil is not there. Anyway, to agree with or support. To agree with or support. One person or group and not another. What is it? Taking the side of the oppressed means, taking the side of means you support one group, right? And then you don't support the other group. It's like this. I have a nice, this is a simple example to say that taking the side of the oppressed. Say there is a cat. The fellow is little rough and tough. And imagine this cat goes and catches a squirrel. Now I would like to ask the question from you. What side would you take when this tough cat goes and catches a squirrel? I think if I were there, I would have taken the side of the squirrel, because squirrel is weak. Now he cannot move because the fellow is in the grip of the cat. So this is what it means, taking the side of the oppressed. පීඩිතයාගේ පැත්ත ගැනීම. I have got the Tamil word from Google translation. You know how to get the Google translation, I suppose you know. Let us also learn these few things. You just go on Google and you translate from English to Tamil translation. If you know the English word, then you will see that the Tamil word on the other side. Okay. Be oppressed. I think I explained it. People who have been subjected to suffering, force, domination, and cruel treatment. I would like to bring a few examples. Now we will be taking these sentences when we learn active and passive voices. Jesus took the side of the poor, or we can say Jesus took the side of the oppressed. The religion and the politics of Jesus's time, of his time. Jesuge kale, agama saha deshapalane, the religion and the politics of his time oppressed the most people socially, economically, and politically. ගොඩාක් මිනිසුන්ව පීඩාවට පත් කළා සමාජීයව, ආර්ථිකව, දේශපාලනිකව. Socially, economically, and politically. So these are adverbs, okay? The poor and the oppressed people came to Jesus. It was the poor and the oppressed. You have so many other words. The marginalized, the outcast, ඒ කියන්නේ බැහැර කරපු, මායිමට තල්ලු කරලා දාපු, කොන් කරපු, oppressed, the outcast. All those people who came to Jesus, they were poor and oppressed, and they came to seek freedom, healing, and liberation. නිදහස, විමුක්තිය, නේ, සැනසීම, සුවය හොයාගෙන ආවි. In the lives of Jesus, Buddha, and Prophet Muhammad, and in the Hindu scriptures and in other philosophies and other religions, if you take the lives of, religious founders like Jesus, Buddha, and Prophet Muhammad, and then holy scriptures of other religion, we find that they took the side of the poor and the oppressed. පීඩිතයාගේ පැත්ත තමයි ගත්තේ ඒ ඔක්කොම. ඒ ලියකියවිල සුද්ධ වූ ග්‍රන්ථ එම නැත්නම් ඒ ජීවිත, the lives of Jesus, Buddha, and Prophet. They took the side of the poor and the oppressed. Why they took the side of the oppressed? Because the oppressed people, they were weak and powerless because they were subjected to poverty and oppression. ඔවුන් පීඩිත නිසා ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ පැත්ත ගත්තා. Poverty and oppression are not natural. දුප්පත්කම පීඩිත භාවයේ ස්වභාවික නැහැ. They are created situation. Made situation, created. හදපුවා, නිර්මාණය කරපුවා කවුරු හරි විසින් සමාජය. Created by the decisions and actions of those who hold power, wealth, and privilege extremely in their hands. බලය සම්පත් සහ ධනවත්කම් වැඩියෙන් අතේ තියාගෙන ඉන්න අය තමයි ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ තීරණ. The decisions and actions, ක්‍රියාවන් තමයි දුප්පත්කම සහ පීඩාව ඇති කරන්නේ. Those who have wealth, power, and privilege dominate. Dominate කරනවා කියන්නේ යටත් කරනවා. සල්ලි බලය privilege කියන්නේ වරප්‍රසාද තියෙන අය අනිත් අය යටත් කරනවා. That domination, this word comes in, when we try to learn social consciousness. The domination brings oppression. යටත් කිරීම තමයි පීඩාව ගේන්නේ, oppression. The meaning of oppression is cruel treatment. When I have power, more wealth and resources, I feel that I can do anything. So I go on dominating others, oppressing others, treating cruelly, wickedly other people, on those who don't have wealth, power, and privilege. The Russia-Ukraine situation, we have the Ukrainian ordinary people are the oppressed ones in the war. They are the victims of the invasion, war, destruction. And the ordinary people are the oppressed ones in the Russian-Ukrainian war, right? So they are the victims. So we have two words, the oppressed and the victims. Victims කියන්නේ වින්දිතයෝ. ඒ විඳවීමට ලක් වෙන අය. The oppressed කියන්නේ පීඩාවට ලක් වෙන අය, පීඩිතයෝ. Who are these victims? The oppressed. The children, women, old and feeble one. වයසක feeble කියන්නේ දුර්වල. They are unarmed. එයා ළඟ අවියායුධ නැහැ. Unarmed. Powerless. බලය නැහැ. Helpless, asaranaයි. They suffer. They are being oppressed. They are being oppressed. I think the time is going, but then we will go fast. Whatever the reasons are, oppression cannot be accepted. Oppression in whatever form is inhuman. පීඩාවට ලක් කිරීම, අනිත් පින්සුව විඳවීමට ලක් කිරීම අමානුෂිකයි. So our social consciousness urges us to take the side of the poor, the oppressed, and the victims. So when we become socially conscious, when we learn the problems, how they are created and how people are suffering, then it urges us, තල්ලු කරනවා අපිව, urge කරනවා to take the side, පීඩිතයාගේ දිලින්දගේ වින්දිතයාගේ පැත්ත ගන්න, to take the side of the poor, the oppressed. And now we come to this, our lesson, active and passive voices, having that background, okay, social consciousness. Actually, this is comparatively a very small aspect of English grammar, but we need to pay some attention to get the pattern of these sentences, how to construct active voice and then construct passive voice. Right. Now, what is an active voice sentence, right? We have it here. My mom cooks food in our house. That is a very direct sentence. My mom cooks, uyanava, food, kama, in our house. Very direct and simple sentence. So we have to know the subject of this sentence. Who cooks? We ask the question. Cook is the verb, right? So who cooks? Mom. The mom is the subject doing the action of cooking. Cooking කියන වැඩේ කරන්නේ අම්මා, mom. And what does she cook? Food. So that is the object, right? So subject, verb, object. That is a normal active sentence in our house. So how do we turn this into a passive voice? How do we turn it? So the object food becomes the subject, right? It comes to the beginning of the sentence. So my mom cooks food in our house. Food in our house is cooked. In the active voice sentence, you have just the present simple tense, my mom cooks. But in the passive, it is changed into past participle of that verb. You know the tenses, if you take the verb cook, then it is cooked, and the past tense is cooked, ed, and past participle is also cooked. There are certain verbs, both the past tense and the past participle are the same. So now cook is a verb where the past tense and the past participle are the same. Cook, cooked, cooked. But if you take the word take and ganno, that's the present tense. And the past tense is took. See, it completely changed. We don't say taked, not taked. It's took. And then past participle becomes again different. It is taken, taken, take, took, taken. Anyway, now I think you can go through it over and over again. Dear friends, dear children, I think we have to, when we try to learn something, we have to go through it over and over again. Repetition is the mother of learning, or something is there. When you repeat something, then it stays in your mind, in your memory. It gets kind of, confirmed in your memory, right? So my mom cooks food in our house. Food in our house is cooked by my mom. We go to the other one, right? This is a little different one. This is connected to social consciousness. A little, I don't know whether it is too high for you. The poor people own nothing. The poor people. People is the subject of this. Poor is the adjective. There is the definite article. So the poor people own. Nothing කියන්නේ කිසිවක්. ඒතර කිසිවක් අයිති නැහැ කියන එක තමයි. The poor people own nothing, or poor people don't own anything. They don't have anything to own. අයිති කරගන්න කිසි දෙයක් නැහැ දුප්පත් අයට. So the poor people own nothing. This is an active voice. How do we turn this into a passive voice? So nothing is the object. Object. Mahinda, what do you say to the object? Karmeda, kartru, kriyava, kriyapadaya saha. Object is Mahinda there?
Karma tamane, karma padaya. Karma padaya ne?
Karma padaya. Okay, karma padaya. Right, karma padaya. The poor people own, nothing is the karma padaya, the object. Okay. And then when we turn that into passive voice, we say nothing is owned. Look at this word is, that be verb, supportive verb. The verb in this active voice sentence is own. That is the main verb. Right? Main verb. Pradhana kriyapadaya avilla own කියන එක. අයිතිව තියෙනවා කියන්නේ own. But here, when it is turned to passive, another supportive verb comes here. Is supportive verb. Nothing is owned by past participle like a daddi. When we put used past participle, before that we have to use the be verb to be verb. So is, nothing is owned by. Then we have to use this by word. By කියන වචනේත් පාවිච්චි කරන්න ඕනේ. By the poor people. Right? So I've given the meaning. You can go on later. I will put this PowerPoint presentation to your group. Okay. We go to the next one. Let me see the time now. Right, we have 10 minutes. Again, there is another little longer sentence, but with few words so that we can learn those words. The rich own the wealth, power, and resources. The rich means, now rich, if you take that word alone, it is an adjective. We say rich man. But when you use the adjective rich with the definite word, the rich mean pohosat minissu, the rich people. So you don't have to use rich people, the rich, right? Own, the rich own, the wealth, power, and resources. How do we turn this active voice sentence into passive? So the object, direct object is wealth, power, and resources. That is the object, karmakarake. The rich is the subject, kartru. Own is the verb. So the wealth, power, and resources are, it's not is, because the wealth, power, and resources, it's plural. එක බහුවචනය. අර්ථය ඔක්කොමගේ මේකතුව. The wealth, power, and resources are owned by, the past participle of own, the verb own is owned by the rich. As we go on, you will kind of, get it. Don't worry about, if we have any questions, we can ask after the class, or we will try to find a way of kind of, putting our questions into our WhatsApp group. And then we all can kind of, intervene, intervene, and then kind of, help each other to solve our problems. Now I come to this one, those who are, know the Christian background, those who have the Christian faith, they know this, the background. In the story of the Exodus story means where, God, through the help of Moses, took the slaves, the people of Israel who suffered, who were oppressed under the King Pharaoh. And God kind of, takes the side of the slaves. God takes the side of the oppressed, the slaves. Right? So I have made a sentence here. In the story of the Exodus, God takes the side of the oppressed. Takes, present simple. Now we are going to, put our attention onto the tense, Now this is, present simple tense. God takes. This is the actions which is now happening. God takes the side of the oppressed. So how can we turn this into passive voice? Okay. Now shall we take who is the subject of this sentence? God is the subject. Takes is the verb. And the side of the oppressed is the object, direct object. So we take the object first, the side of the oppressed is taken by, because it's happening in the present. Okay? Is taken, is, not was, not were, because the side of the oppressed, the side is only, it's singular. The side of the oppressed is taken by God in the story of the Exodus. So that is the present simple tense. That's how we name it, right? We go to the present continuous tense, present continuous. So it's continually happening, continuously happening, right? How shall we put the same sentence into present continuous? In the story of the Exodus, God is taking. Earlier, present simple, we said, God takes. Now God is taking, ing form. The verb takes the ing form. God is taking. I am eating. I eat, that is present simple. I am eating, right? Supportive verb, am eating. He eats. He is eating. She prays. P-R-A-Y-S. She is praying. So present continuous. God is taking the side of the oppressed. I mean, if you take, the meaning wise, I cannot say that in the story of the Exodus was a past thing, but then you can say it, for the sake of saying it and, learning this present continuous tense. In the story of the Exodus, God is taking the side of the oppressed. So we turn that into passive. The side of the oppressed is being, the side of the oppressed is being taken. See how this being is used there. In addition to is වලට අමතරව being කියන එකක් දානවා. It continue වෙන නිසා. Because it continues. So note these changes. Okay. Right? God is taking, and when we turn that into passive, right, the side of the oppressed is being taken by, then we use the past participle, taken by God in the story of the Exodus. Then there is another tense. So first we have the perfect, the present simple, then have the present continuous tense. Now we have present perfect. We'll see what it is. Okay. Same sentence. In the story of the Exodus, God has taken. We use has as the supportive verb. God has taken the side of the oppressed. He has taken. It's like, it's not now happening. A little before, some time ago, has taken. Has taken. I have gone to Colombo. That means I have gone in the past, a little while ago, in the sense, some time ago, not now. So we can use this has, and I don't say I has, I have. Has is used when it comes to the third person. God, it's a pronoun of, yes. So pronoun, so it's in the third person. God has taken the side of the oppressed. When we turn that into a passive voice, the side of the oppressed has been, not B-E-I-N-G, B-double-E-N. So note has been, have been. Next we will meet had been. Okay. When the verb, when there is has taken, is there, has, then we say has been taken by God. We will move to the next one. Active voice. Oh, that's over. Past perfect we don't have in passive voice. So it's only past continuous. Past perfect we have. Yes, we have it. Okay. Then we go to the next one. I like this sentence. I think it's nice. Active voice, past simple. Now we go to the past tense. So in the past tense, we also have past simple, past continuous, past perfect. Let's see. The great persons in the world. What do you mean by great persons? Shreshta Pudgalayo. Great means Shreshta. The great persons in the world served the poor people. Served, past tense, past simple tense. Okay, the great persons in the world served the poor people. Shreshta Pudgalayo itihasye boho velawata api dakinne, they served the poor. Dupat ayata මේ පීඩිතයන්ට සේවය කළා. Served. We come to the passive voice. The poor people were served. The poor people, they are the subject. The poor people is the subject in this, object in this sentence. So the object comes as the subject in the passive voice. The poor people were served. Why don't we put was? Because the poor people is a plural subject. People is plural. Okay, people are, is many, so it's a plural. The poor people were served by the great persons in the world. Now, if I ask you the question, the word serve, that is the present tense, serve, seve karana. You serve others. So what is the past tense? Served. We have it in the active voice in this sentence. And then what is the past participle? Served. We don't say servant, no, served. Right. Now we go to the active voice past continuous tense. We take the same sentence. The great persons in the world were serving. They were doing that continuously. They were serving the poor people. Past continuous. They served means past tense. They were serving. They were continually serving. It's a going, the action that was going on. That was yamin tibicheka. Atite keramin tibicheka. Seve keramin. They were serving the poor people. Then comes the passive. Shall we turn that? The poor people were being served. The poor, not that poor people were served, then it's past, already happened. If it is to be made a continually going thing, then we use being, like is being. So now here, people, it's a plural noun. We use past tense, were being served by the great persons in the world. I'm trying to make this, by kind of, dragging the words so that at least the meaning will come out that, it's continually happening. Past perfect sense, right? The great persons in the world had served. They had served a little, some time ago in the past, right? We can say even before Jesus and Lord Buddha, there were great persons in the world who had Karala Tibuna, Seve Karala Tibuna, had served the poor people, right? And then the passive, how do we put this, have this sentence in passive perfect, past perfect tense? The poor people had been served, had been, like has been, had been served by the great persons in the world. So it was the poor, the great persons who had served the poor people. So had been. I think, when you go through this and I will be putting some exercises into our WhatsApp group tomorrow, some questions where I will ask you to fill in the blanks and name what tense is this. Is this, active sentence is present simple, present continuous, present perfect. So you will kind of, get familiar, get familiar with the active and passive voices. I think we have come to the end, I think right on time, probably. I know it's, 10:05. Actually, we started by 10:05. Thank you. The lesson is over. My teaching is over with this. And I think this is the time for us to take this time to ask questions. If you want any clarifications, and then if you want to make some suggestions, you can do so. Bayan depa Sinhalin katha karannat puluwan. I think Father Elil, is Father Elil there? Father Elil?
Yeah, I'm around.
Okay, right. Fine.
Yes, I'm around.
So that, even those who want to speak, ask questions in Tamil, you can do so. Api meka mang hitande poddak me viwurtha karagamu. Api inne hatara disawe namuth mang hitande Zoom platform එක helps us to come together. So let's make use of this. I will stop sharing this.
தமிழ்ல கேட்கல் விரும்பினாக்களும் கேட்கலாம் கேள்வி.
Grammar ගැන වෙන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙම නැත්නම් social consciousness වෙන්න පුළුවන්.
Yes, someone has raised a hand, right? Milan.
Okay. Milan, Kasturi, Arachi. Milan, you can speak. Just a minute. We have to. Can you switch on the mic from there? You can unmute. I think you can unmute your mic. Yes, you can. Please go ahead, Milan. Poddak ඇහෙනවා මදි. We can't hear you properly. We can't hear you properly. Something is wrong with your microphone, or maybe something wrong with your reception. We don't hear you clearly.
Okay, I think this has been there from the. It's okay. Anyone else?
How about?
Yeah.
How about? I think I have some issue.
Now you are clear. You can go ahead.
Okay, Father. Now you are talking about active and passive voice grammar part of those sentence.
Yeah.
Now I'll take example of side of the oppressed is taken by God in the okay. Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't write down the rest of the thing. And is taken by. Now this is simple, right? Because of that you use is. Now I mean, if it is a recent thing happened, okay, yesterday or last week, we still can use is. But when it was taken place a long time back, we have to use, right, was taken, right?
Yeah.
The side of the oppressed was taken. Is there any difference of meaning? Is it same meaning gives the audience?
Yeah, it's a tense is different, but the meaning is the same. Right?
Okay.
God took the side, I mean, in the past, the side of the poor was taken. That was the past tense. Okay?
Okay.
Now, if you say the side of the poor is taken, it's happening now. It's happening now.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Thank you.
And also, Father, if you
Yeah.
can bit explain
Mm.
BEING and BEN. How do you
Right.
put
Now
those into
being is
clearly into
being.
sentence in a simple way?
Yeah, that's right. Now, say, what shall we?
Is it now when you are
Now it's like
talking
my
being?
mom is cooking food. My mom is,
Okay.
the food is being, I don't know how to put that, how to explain it. You use that being verb to tell, to express that something is now, continuing. It's being continually happening now. It's being cooked. Now, at this moment, I can say food is being cooked by my mom. Is being, now it's happening, continuing,
Okay.
right? Or you can say
Okay, Father.
also a usual
Uh,
thing when it is always happening, in our house, right? In our house, food is cooked by my mom. So that's a usual thing, So she has been doing, and she does it now. She will do it in the future also. So mom is the
okay.
one. Amma tamai gedara oyanne. It's like,
Mhm.
I go for a walk every day. I go. I don't say I am going for a walk every day. I don't say I go for a walk. It's a habitual thing. It's a habit
Oh.
that happens always, like, every day. If it
Oh,
is
එතකොට
happening
Father.
now. Oh.
Okay. එතකොට Father being කියන එක දැන් ඒක අපි pronounce කරද්දී එතන හරියට being BEEN BEING කියන එක similarly pronounce වෙනවා. මේක grammatically තමයි ලියද්දි තමයි BEING and BEIN කියන එක හරියට use වෙන්න ඕනේ නේද?
Yes.
එහෙමද?
When we pronounce, we have to be, you can't say being and been. So you have to pronounce the N here. Has been. So, I think grammatically it's different. No, you don't say has been. You don't say has been. People know that when you say this has been happening since last year, has been. So they can guess the meaning. You can get the meaning. Has been done. Has been done.
Okay.
The side of the poor has been taken by God. Has been taken by God.
Okay. All right, Father.
Okay.
I got it. Okay, understood.
You go through,
Thank you.
and then if there is a problem, put a question. If you find a question somewhere which is not understandable, then you can put that into the group. Then we will grapple with it, struggle with it, and get to know, get to understand.
All right. Thank you, Father.
Okay, you are welcome.
Okay, thanks.
Who are the others? And may prashnak karaganda pa, in Tamil, those who are, from Jaffna and the parts of the north and the east. It's a beautiful forum for us, dear friends, dear children, I think, to come together, to learn together. I think Arun Mosi, last time he was telling that, we do it together. Interdependent, that's the word he used. It's a mutual thing. And then we will be hearing from, teachers from other countries, their experiences. So join and tell your friends also, not only the grammar, maybe your friends may be knowing the grammar part, but then they will have the chance to listen to their experience, their struggles that they are involved in. Okay, so tell your friends also. කවුද ඉන්නේ වෙන කියන්න? Father Elil, you are, so there is Sandaru. Sandaru, yes, Sandaru. මොනවද කියන්න තියෙන්නේ?
Father, I need a clarification about
Yeah.
two tenses. So what's the difference between present perfect and past continuous? I feel both are
Present
the same
perfect and
sometimes. past continuous.
Yeah, that's a different.
It
Present
means
and
not
past are
now, but happening.
yeah. First of all, present tense and past tense are different. So if you take the present tense, under present tense you have present simple. That is we can say he makes a chair. Okay, that is present simple. Something that
The
is
things we
happening.
do regularly.
And then you have under present tense, you have present continuous, present perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Then you have perfect continuous also. You know, you will be having, different. I will get the full details. And then when it comes to past tense, then you have past simple, past continuous, past perfect. And then you will have the future tense, future simple, future continuous tense, future perfect. But that will actually, in passive voice, we don't use all those things. So I have got what normally we use in our day-to-day conversations. Okay. And
Father,
once you get the hang of okay.
Father, how do we place past continuous and present perfect in a timeline? When we express about some incident or something.
If you know a sentence, do you know a sentence?
Something that
You
something
mean
like
present continuous, you said?
no, present perfect and
Present
past
perfect.
continuous.
Yeah.
Once you told that
Present perfect is this
something.
one. He has, let me see. He has, we can do like this. It's like this. Let's say a simple one will take, right? Present perfect. The carpenter has made, right? That is present perfect. Has made a chair. Okay.
Okay.
So what is the object? The carpenter is the object, has made the verb, and then a chair is the object. So a chair has been made. Has been.
Yeah, okay.
Has been made. Actually, we have been using these things, because we read, having read books and kind of, we have got the grammar. It's only now we name it, this is present perfect. But when we talk, actually, we don't say, now I must speak the present perfect. No, we don't get that at all, right? So if we can go through, several examples of these sentences, once you go through, several of them, then you will get this pattern into you. And it will come automatically, okay, the carpenter has made a chair, a chair has been made by the carpenter.
Yeah.
Something like that, right? Don't worry, you may not get it, at one time, because you have to repeatedly do some lessons. I will try to put some lessons into our group so that, others will also profit by them.
Okay, thank you, Father. I got the point. Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Shall we?
Okay.
There's no question.
Is there anyone? I would like to request from you all, if you can even type Sinhala or whatever it is, or Singlish, you can put your, ideas, your suggestions, maybe the problems that you have, maybe a part of grammar that you want to learn more, so that we know that you are in need of this part of grammar so that we can attend to it as we go on. Okay. It's now 10:16. Is there anyone else who want to ask question? I think Elil, there isn't anybody. You can end.
All right. So I would like to, on behalf of the organizing team and the students, thank Father Anton for having given us the elaborative study on the active and passive voice. Practically, he has covered all the tenses today. And we thank him immensely for his hard work and the illustration he has given to us. And of course, he would be coordinating the other classes too. So once again, Father Anton, thank you very much indeed.
Yeah, thank you, Father Elil, and thank you, everybody. Thank you all, the children and the others. We will see you next Tuesday. Okay. Right. Thank you. Goodbye and good night. Good night. Anusha, thank you very much, Anusha, from Canada, for giving us the
Father,
link,
good night.
Zoom link.
God bless you.
Okay.
No worries. No worries. Father, thank you. Thank you for doing this. It's so wonderful.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you for helping us, It's a big help. What's your surname?
So you can
Anusha?
end the meeting, Father. Sorry, Father?
What is your surname, last name?
I'm De Silva.
Oh,
De Silva Karunaratna. Yeah.
So you have kept both last names.
It's all from my husband. My maiden name was very short. It was just Anusha Ryan.
Okay.
But I had to take my husband's whole name. So yeah.
Right. Thank you once again. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Father.
Okay,
Good night.
we'll
You
see
can
you.
end
Right.
the meeting when you want, Father.
Okay, right. I'll end it. Right. Thank you. Darshana? Kahingala? Darshana? Ah, Kade.